Dan Dickau, Scorebook Live, Washington. Here we are talking about a wrap-up for the season, this time with the 3A All-State as well as Coach of the Year and Player of the Year for Scorebook Live, Washington. We're just going to get right into it. A number of difficult decisions to be made because there are so many good players at the 3A level. Not that there aren't at other levels, but the 3A level was very difficult to make some choices. Myself, our journalist Andy Bueller, talked to many coaches across the state, watched plenty of games throughout the season, and then we also evaluated during the state tournament. So many things went into consideration. Play throughout the season, conference and league play, playoffs, and also state tournament play. So getting right into it, a player that maybe was overlooked at times early in the season, but definitely not late in the season, as he really helped Wilson out of the Tacoma area make a charge late in the playoffs and into the state tournament. A senior from Wilson, Dominic Greene, a very versatile guard who's aggressive, ultra-competitive, can score it at all three levels, whether at the rim, mid-range, or behind the arc. He did a tremendous job in leading Coach Mike Koke's ball club to the state tournament and making a run. Heading to the east side of the state, a junior from Mount Spokane, Washington, Mount Spokane High School, Tyson Degenhardt, another member of our 3A Scorebook Live All-State team. I don't know if there's as versatile player in the state outside of maybe Paulo Banchero as there is for Coach David Wagenblast Ball Club. Degenhardt can step out and face you up, shoot it from beyond the arc. He's comfortable scoring on the low block. He's gotten better at putting on the ball on the deck and creating for himself and for others. So Tyson Degenhardt, All-State at the 3A levels for Scorebook Live Washington. Heading over to the west side of the state, maybe the best point guard in the state, regardless of classifications. A member of our 3A Scorebook Live Washington All-State team, Nolan Hickman. Had a chance to watch him earlier this season in a matchup against O'Day, and I was impressed. I watched more film throughout the season as it went on, and I continue to be impressed. He's got a very good handle. He can put the ball on the deck. He can score. He can create for others. But maybe where he's as good or better than a lot of high school point guards that I've seen is he's willing to set the tone on the defensive end. He's willing to get up, climb up into you defensively. He's willing to lead guys as well and make sure that the game is played at the pace that is best for him, as well as his Eastside Catholic Ball Club. So Nolan Hickman, 3A All-State for Scorebook Live Washington. Staying in the Metro League, it's no surprise, Paulo Banchero, a All-State decision for Scorebook Live Washington. One of the best players, regardless of classification, to come out of the state of Washington quite some time. Only a junior. When all is said and done, he may be the highest rated recruit or most recruited athlete ever out of the Washington area when all things are said and done. So Paulo Banchero, a All-State member at the 3A level for Scorebook Live Washington. Rounding out our All-State team, a player who I liked when I saw this summer at the WIBCA Showcase. I saw him this season in a Metro League showdown between Garfield and Nathan Hale. Koren Johnson, only a sophomore, continues to improve, continues to impress. He was at his best during the playoffs and in the state tournament. He is a player that people in the state of Washington are going to have to get used to hearing about for the next couple of years because he's got a tremendous future. It's interesting to see if he's going to be a point guard, if he's going to be a two guard. What I know right now is he's a very versatile young guard who's going to have some really bright moments for Coach Brandon Roy as we move forward in the future for Scorebook Live Washington. Moving on to the Coach of the Year and the Player of the Year. We're going to stay at Garfield High School in the Capital District of Seattle, Washington. Another accolade for Coach Brandon Roy. Big-time player in high school at Garfield, big-time player at University of Washington, unbelievable talent in the NBA. He's becoming a tremendous high school coach, and a lot of it is due to understanding how to get his team to peak at the right time of the year. Won a state title at Nathan Hale, won a state title at Garfield before taking last season off. He came back this year. He got Garfield peaking at the right time of the year, gets them to not only to the state title game, but to a victory in the state title game. So the Scorebook Live Washington 3A Coach of the Year, Brandon Roy. Staying in the Capital District at Garfield High School, senior Tari Eason is our Scorebook Live 3A Player of the Year. This was a tough decision had you asked a couple weeks ago, because there were so many players that had an opportunity to be named 3A Player of the Year. You're looking at Paolo Banchero. You're looking at Nolan Hickman. Other guys come to mind. But as the season progressed, Tari Eason continued to answer a lot of questions that were out there. And a lot of the questions stemmed off of the fact that he was at Federal Way a season ago, playing under Jaden McDaniel's shadow, providing kind of those workhorse minutes, and a lot of accolades that he was garnering coming into the season were based off of AAU and how he played. Scorebook Live Washington, we take some of that into account, but we look at the body of work at your high school season and how you played in the high school season. As the season progressed, Tari Eason answered all those questions, and he really, quite frankly, answered them with flying colors. You needed a rebound, Tari Eason was on the glass. You needed somebody to play at the top of a zone defense, three-quarter court press, Tari Eason was willing to step up and take that challenge. Make a big shot, make a big play, Tari Eason was that guy. Tari Eason had a tremendous season. He is your 3A State Player of the Year for Scorebook Live Washington. Lots of hard decisions that had to be made at the 3A level because there were lots of big-time performers. But there you have it. After lots of watching of games, lots of watching of film, talking to many coaches throughout the state, Andy Bueller, journalist for Scorebook Live Washington, and myself have come up with your 3A accolades at the state 3A level. For Scorebook Live Washington, I'm Dan Dickau.